Just do it. Boom, there you go. There's the answer to all your questions about overthinking is just do it. Boom. End the video. See you guys on the next one. If it was really like that easy and that simple, there wouldn't be thousands upon thousands of videos of different kind of content, of writing, of books, all about how to not overthink or how to overcome overthinking. Now, I was a big overthinker. I still kind of am in a way, but just not as much as I used to be. I kind of started thinking less, and think less in a positive way. Don't worry, we'll get back to what that is. But for an example, in my old ways of thinking, like if I wanted to learn a new language or something, I would sometimes picture the immense amount of work it would take to learn a language rather than start learning the language. And it's not that I was opposed to working hard and whatnot, but it's just the overall, I guess, effort it would take to get there would kind of make me not want to start doing it. I don't know if that makes sense. It probably makes sense in some sort of way. To where like I would kind of want things kind of fast, like a lot of things. What comes with languages, kind of want to learn it fast. But when I would think about, oh, it's gonna take me this amount of days, this amount of studying each day, this amount of writing, this amount of practice, this amount of that, and it's gonna take me maybe like a year to get like decent with the language, and a couple more years to get proficient. That will go through my head, and that would just make me not want to do it because I didn't. I don't know if that makes sense, but it was just me. It was just me constantly overthinking about all those things, and it just thinking about so much of it. It just made me not want to do it, or it just kept pushing me off from even starting to do it. Now, I guess a sub point would be, why do we overthink in the first place, right? Like, why do we overthink things? Now, I'm gonna keep using myself as an example because I guess I know myself more than I know everyone else out there. But for me, I'm a very analytical type of person. So if there's a problem, I will come up with 1,000 solutions before even starting to solve things. Like I'm just in my head like that. Like, oh, there's a problem, boom, I got 1,000 different solutions. Let's figure this out. Now, that's not a bad thing, of thinking that way. I found that it was very positive in different situations, like math problems or like, problem solving, really helping other people. But when it kind of came to myself, more especially on my own goals and things that I wanted to do, that's when overthinking kind of became more of a problem for me. I use another example. We'll go back to the language thing. So I want to teach myself a new language. I would think about maybe the platform I want to learn, the books I want to get, audio books, the creators who not I'm listening to. I would structure all these things out. I'm gonna do this day, do this, do that day, do this or that day. And I'll be so much like heavily focused on the research aspect of it, of how to get it done, that I would not even really think about myself actually doing it. Yeah, it's weird. It doesn't make, I don't know. It can't just be me, but it sounds weird if it's weird for you, but that's just how my mind went. I was so much into the planning, so much into thinking about doing it, so much to where I guess subconsciously just didn't even start doing it, or didn't even like want. I won't say didn't even want, but I just didn't think about doing it. I don't know. I just literally just didn't think about doing it. I was so much into the planning aspect of things that it just prevented me from actually doing it. Now, it was like that for me for a while until I came across this simple thing that kind of changed my mindset a little bit, and that is, try to make things a lot more simpler than they are, or just try to make things simple. And I'm sure most of you guys probably rolled your eyes at me or are about to click off the video because it's like, I heard this 1,000 times, make things simple, da, 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 da. But it's actually true. Like I'm speaking from experience here. Like, I'm not just telling you guys things, it's all experience, but it's just true. Make things simple. Now, for E again, I'm gonna keep using myself. I try to not look at the big picture, but instead I'm gonna look at a very small piece of it and start from there and just work my way up. What does that look like, you may ask? Andrew, what does that look like? What does that look like? Well, instead of looking at, let's say you want to work out and you want to get abs, instead of looking at the end finished product of you getting abs, try to look at what you can do today and each day that'll eventually lead you to getting that. It even comes to a point where sometimes you might not even think so much about the end goal, but just more so on the daily goals that will get you there, right? So try not to look at the finish line, because some people have, like me, some people have like a date in their head of when they want to get certain things done, and not all the time will you get things done by that date or by that time. But if you just do what you need to do during the day or during each day, you will eventually reach that end goal. Now, time wise, I don't know. It depends on the goal you're trying to do, or it depends on other factors. But either way, if you can do what you need to do during the day, each day, little by little, step by step, you're eventually going to reach your goal. And that kind of helped me to not be overwhelmed by certain things. Not helped me not to think about, oh, I want to hurry up and do this by next month, or I want to hurry up and do this by this time. But just do what you do today. Consistency. That might be another video, but consistency of just doing it day by day, and eventually you're gonna start seeing some change. Now I'll use another topic about YouTube. Now there's millions of videos about starting a YouTube channel, how to do all this other stuff, and and the first question you may have if you want to start one or whatnot, I had the same questions. Trust me, this video is also about me and overthinking. Is I don't have the camera gear, I don't have the art, I don't have the banner, I don't have this, and this, and this, and that. And a lot of what creators say, and a lot of it is true. It doesn't just go for YouTube, but anything is just start, right? Just start. And with overthinking, sometimes we can overthink so much about the many variables of the things that we want to try and do, things that might get in our way, things that might not get in our way, that we just get too far ahead of ourselves about things that we may not even like, problems we may not even come across anyways, because we just never started. Or a lot of the problems, or a lot of the things or a lot of the things that we're thinking about that may stop us from starting, a lot of the questions we have about it, we're going to answer those questions while we're doing the thing we want to do anyways, right? And that makes sense. Like, again, YouTube, right? To use an example, I don't know like fully what kind of content I want to do. I know I want to talk about stuff and I want to travel, but instead of like sitting around and thinking about all those things, let me just start the camera and just start doing what I feel like doing now. And eventually I'm gonna answer that question somewhere down the line, or, something's gonna come up, and you never know. But really just start. Really just start. Now I know we started the video saying it's that simple. It's really not, but I'm trying to break it down. Make things simpler for yourselves. Try not to, that's what I'm saying in the beginning, think a little bit less. Think a little bit less. You overthinkers out there, we think so much. Sometimes we gotta put our brains on ice, right? We gotta tone it down a little bit. We gotta think a little bit less and kind of just get into the action, or think a little bit less to help ourselves get into the action of just doing it. Because once you do it, you're doing it. Congrats, you're doing it. So if I can try to summarize everything, it would be to slow down. Yes, you overthinker, you. Slow down. Take things day by day, step by step. Overthinking, I wouldn't say is necessarily, actually, hold on. Word overthinking is kind of like used as a negative connotation, but what I'm trying to say is a positive about it is like you're a problem solver, perhaps. You think about many different outcomes and whatnot, which is okay, but don't get too caught up into your head, right? Don't get too caught up into your head. Now, it's easy for me to say it, but one thing to, of course, do it. And I'm slowly working on that still. But just try to make things simple for yourself, okay? Don't just try to make things a little bit more simple for yourself. Sometimes you really, like I said in the beginning, sometimes you really have to think a little bit less just to get yourself into the action of doing those things, or get yourself into the mindset of maybe not overthinking about the things you're overthinking about. But dang, this is good. You know, the more I'm talking about this, the more it's like I have a little script, right? But it's like, this could go on. This could be like a huge video, and you see all the many videos out there, but like overthinking is a huge, I would say, a huge thing, because there's so many variables in which you could overthink about, right? Like you could overthink about going to that coffee store because, I don't know, you want to go try it out, but you're overthinking about, oh, they're gonna think you're weird and all this other stuff. But it goes back into what I'm saying is, even though the examples and the topics I use might not necessarily relate to yourself, the concept of keeping things simple and focusing your mind on, I guess, today or the moment, for example, versus thinking about what happens after this moment or what happens leading up to this moment. Focus on the moment and start there. Might be the best advice I can say. That was pretty good. That was really good. I didn't even write that. That was just off the top of the dome, but that was pretty good. I would also say this: take a deep breath. You guys can do this. If I can get out of my head, I know you guys can too. So we can do this. We can do this. All right. If you guys enjoyed the content, please leave subscribe and leave like and comment below what you guys agree or disagree with, or things that you're currently going through and overthinking. Also, if you guys want to see a video of the power of doing and how that could really change your life, click somewhere in the corner for the video. It's a really good video. Yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.